Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope that wherever you are, you're doing well. If this is your first time visiting with us, I want to welcome you, and I do hope that you'll come back and see us again. It has been a while since I posted an inspirational video, and today I decided to do that. I want to talk to you about living between the dash. And what does this mean? If you have been to a cemetery, you will have seen headstones. And on these headstones are 2 years that are etched in them. The first being the year that the person was born, the second, the year that they died. And in between this space, you will see a dash. That dash represents that person's life. It represents the culmination of all of the events, the highs, the lows, that this individual lived through. Now, sadly, there's a lot of people that live their life chasing after material things, wealth, and in the end, those things don't matter, right? Because you can't take any of it with you. I remember reading something that said, "You will never see a U-Haul truck pulling up to the pearly gates of heaven." And that is so true. Because listen, let me tell you, God is not going to be impressed with all of your material things, what kind of car you drove. And in fact, after you die, most of these things are going to probably end up at the Goodwill store. I know, because I like shopping at the Goodwill store. We should try to live our life while we're here on earth responsibly. And what I mean is, go out and do acts of kindness, charitable works, help the needy, the poor, hand out more smiles, hand out more kind words, hand out more hugs if they will allow you. Those are the kind of things that God looks favorably on, not your material things. If you are one of those individuals that has been chasing after these kind of things, wealth, material things, my suggestion to you, okay, is maybe you need to get off of the hamster wheel and start living your dash, because life is so brief that before you know it, poof, it's gone. Life is but a mist, my friends. So while you're here on earth, live your life. Try and do good deeds. Help the poor, the needy. I also want to share 2 stories with you that kind of go with what I've been talking about. I once knew someone who was very wealthy, but he was very sad and lonely. One time he said to me, "Grace, I have adult children, but I rarely see them. The only time they show up is when they want money or they want me to pay one of their bills." And to me, that was such a sad and lonely way to live your life. He had all of the material things you could want: a beautiful house, beautiful car, beautiful hangings on his wall, a big fat bank account. But he was sad and lonely, and that is how he died in the end. Now, contrast that with my other friend who sadly passed away several years ago. Her name was Lillian, and I miss her so much, because she was not just my friend, she was the ministry cook, and she was very good at what she did. Now, here you have my one friend who was rich and not famous, well, famous maybe among his friends for being rich and famous. And then contrast that with my other friend who had very little money, but did a lot of acts of kindness, charitable things. She always helped the needy, the poor. But she was happy. And my homeless individuals loved her very much because she always had a smile to give to them. She was a hugger just like me. She always used to hug them and make them feel a little better. So the difference, right? One has all the money you could want. The other has almost none, but she is happy. And the other one is not. Keep that in mind what I said to you, all right? Because like I said, life is very, very brief. It's like a mist, poof. Before you know it, it is gone. I'm going to throw in another little story, okay? I said two, but I'm throwing in another one. I remember many years ago, on the eve of my 30th birthday, I was at home contemplating life late at night. I was married to my first husband at the time. I'm sitting there at home. He's upstairs asleep, probably snoring, okay? I'm downstairs contemplating my life, thinking about how the following day I was going to turn 30. And to me, that was a big milestone. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be 30 tomorrow. And so I'm there being philosophical all by myself, just thinking about life. And I'm thinking, I still remember to this day what was on my mind. I was thinking, I wonder what my life is going to be like 5 years from now. What is my life going to be like? And let me tell you, like the mist that I mentioned earlier, it's no longer 5 years, all right? I look back at my life and I think to myself, oh my God, here I am. Not 5 years from now, but 30 plus years. And I'm not ashamed to say my age. Some people don't like talking about it, but I'm not one of those people. This year, I turned 69 years old, and that to me is such a blessing. It's not something I'm ashamed of. I'm proud of it because these are years that God has added to my life. Why would I be embarrassed or ashamed to say how old I am? So yes, those are 3 stories that I wanted to share with you. There's a poem that by Shakespeare that goes something like this. Look, I'm throwing all kinds of things at you, okay? I don't remember the name of the poem, but it was in the play Macbeth by Shakespeare. And it goes something like this, if I can remember it correctly. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. And that's the way life is. We go through life spinning around like a crazy top, chasing after this and that, wealth, material things. And in the end, poof, it is gone. So while you're here on earth, living between the dash, okay? Living your years between those 2 years, try to live life responsibly. Help the needy, the poor. Because this world needs people just like me and you to hand out words of kindness and encouragement. I hope that what I said to you gave you something to think about. I know I threw in all kinds of things, like a big melting pot, okay? But I felt in my heart to talk about this, and I hope that what I said to you resonates with you and gives you something to think about. Tell me what you thought, okay? go and live your dash. And while you're living it, take a pause in your day and come back and visit us again. If you haven't subscribed to our ministry channel, please consider doing so. Hit that little notification bell that tells you when I have posted something new. Sometimes I don't know what to talk about in these videos, and I ask God, Lord, help me, give me ideas. And sometimes He'll pop ideas into my head and I'll go, oh, that sounds like a good thing to talk about. But I've always felt like I'm not a very good person to deliver messages. I always feel a little like I'm lacking a little bit, like somebody else could have done a better job of presenting this material to you. But I try, okay? Because God puts it in my heart and I try to put it out there for you. Because maybe it'll mean something to someone out there in the vastness that is YouTube. Don't ever forget that God loves you very, very much. Come back and see us, okay? Bye-bye.